FBA Profits. My name's Leland.
My name is Zuby.
Hey, Zuby, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks, buddy.
Good. I'm excited. First of all, thanks for joining the podcast. There's lots of options out there, especially in the world of Amazon and the FBA. So if you're here, we're really glad you're joining us. Today's topic is best practices for using leads list. And I know you have your 5, but before we jump into that and how to really maximize leads list, do we want to take a moment to describe what a leads list is?
Never hurts.
I like that answer. So I'll give a shot at it and add to it, correct me, however you want to go about it. But we have a leads list at ProAsins. And so I know about this. I know especially the backside of it where we're getting the information and being able to find these things. But if you're doing retail arbitrage, right, you're out in the field, you're looking for the next great opportunity, you're scanning, you might have other people doing it for you. But if you've graduated on to doing online arbitrage, you're going to need sources for that. And certainly you could do the same practice and hit the well-known websites or ones that work for you. And that's great, especially if it's replenishable. But if you're trying to maximize your ROI, if you're really trying to get the best bang for your buck, you're going to want multiple categories and probably more sources, more online sellers than you know of or that you can look at in one given day. And there's all kinds of services and companies that provide this just like we do that will cull it down for you and serve up to you in different ways opportunities. And it can show up in your email. It could be a link in an email, but ultimately it's going to be sources of potential online arbitrage situations, products that have been matched to hit certain criteria. The bestseller ranking is of a certain number. The ROI is of a certain number, and that limits the field of purview down to something more myopic where you can focus and make decisions more quickly and maximizing your time. And so that's, in a nutshell, the leads list. We serve one up every weekday to our subscribers, and I know it saves a tremendous amount of time. But like most things, you probably should have best practices and you should know what you're doing with these things. Otherwise, it's just 10, 20, 30 data points every single day.
Yeah, it's leads lists are great for a lot of people who don't have enough time to go out and do their own sourcing, because it takes, whether you can pay for a software. And there are a couple of softwares out there that are charging, $120 plus a month to scour through different websites, and they will match UPCs from Walmart to Amazon, and then it will tell you, hey, here is 500 different items that match to your criteria of 20% or 30% ROI, and a bestseller rank of under 100,000 or 200,000, whatever your criteria are. And then you have to sit there and go through that entire 500. Now, what's going to happen is a lot of these softwares, they only match UPC. So you can have a 2-pack versus a 1-pack, a 5-pack versus a 2-pack, a 9-pack versus a 3-pack. There's so much time that is spent going through this. When I first started in this business, I spent hours and hours and hours doing this exact same thing. And it was just it wasn't a waste of time because I learned a lot through it, but it was mundane work that if you don't have the time, and this isn't your main passion, your main source of income, and this is something that you're doing and you're just starting out and you want to grow it, but you don't have 40, 50, 80 hours a week to put into it, it's gonna dissuade you from really growing and scaling this business. That's where these leads lists come in. We have our own proprietary software now that creates and cultivates the items that we're looking for, and then we have a VA, a real live professional, who goes through it and makes sure that the software did not have a hiccup, did not match a 2-pack with a 1-pack, and did not match, a brown variation to a red variation. So there's a lot of that happens if you just use software. And a lot of other leads lists out there offer similar services, right? We're not the only game in town for sure. So regardless of whether you use our leads list or other leads lists, it's a very valuable tool. It saves you time. It gives you some really great ideas. But if you just rely on the leads list and you say, hey, here is, for example, and we'll use ours as an example, as a general example. We send a minimum of 10 items every single weekday via email to our subscribers for each of the lists. So you will receive an email from us every day, every weekday, that has a list of 10 different products with a link to the Amazon product page, with a link to the sources product page where you're going to buy it from. It gives you all the information you need: ROI, what your dollar profit is, what your net margins are, what the BSR is, what category it's in. It gives you a lot of information. Now, you can go ahead and find out of those 10, depending on where you are in your selling journey, you could find all 10 of them that are profitable and you love them and you can sell them. You can find one of them, you can find 5 of them, regardless of how many you find, but you'll find some to go ahead and purchase and resell. Now, what's going to happen is, let's say you found one that you really love at Target. Target limits you to 10 max or 20 max or 6 max of an item. Well, you can go ahead and order it and then the next day go back and order more. But there are other ways to really maximize finding that one profitable product. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Is 5 of the best practices to go beyond just clicking, this looks good, let me buy it. Because if you do this the right way, these leads lists, the value that they bring is tremendous. For us and for most leads lists, the goals are for you to be profitable every single month paying our subscription, just based on the information we're sending you, just on those ones. And for the most part, on a weekly basis, you should be able to make more profit off of the ones that we sent you than what you're paying us on a monthly basis. So it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned to use leads lists. But the 5 best practices that we're talking about takes this to a whole different level. And I'll just get right into them if you're ready, Leland.
I'm waiting.
The first one. All right. So the first one, and I think this is one that I just touched up on. You want to really delve deep into each of the leads that you get in the list. What I mean by that, so you have from our leads list on any given day, you're going to get anywhere from 3 to 5, 7 different sources for these leads. So there'll be Walmart, there'll be Target, Kohl's, the BJ's, whatever. There's a bunch of different sources or retailers, e-tailers where you can go and purchase this product from. Well, a lot of leads lists, including ours, there are places out there in the web world that you might not never heard of, right? And they might have some really good other products. But now that you know this website, you want to mark it up and save it and remember it, so that when you do have the time to spend a few hours on your business, hey, I didn't know about this one website. Let me go see what kind of products they have. Let me go see if I can contact them, and do they offer wholesale accounts? Do they, what kind of products do they sell? Are there other products that they're selling that I could potentially purchase and for resale? Are these replenishables? Do they have sales? When are they going to have sales? Are these sales on a regular basis? Mark your calendar. This site is going to have sales on this time. Sign up for their email list. They're going to send you, discounted codes. They're going to send you sale prices. They're going to send you coupons and whatnot. So you want to go ahead and create a spreadsheet of all these different sources that you can potentially get additional inventory from. You also want to keep in mind about different brands and different categories. And it's just, don't just look at the leads list as just, hey, here's the lead. I've never heard of this one website before, but let me go ahead and I'll order it, and that's it. Forget about it. If it's a new website, double check it. Even if it's Target, even if it's Walmart, make sure you sign up for their email list. Make sure you have an understanding of what kind of value they give to their regular customers, and come up with a plan to make sure you continuously receive and check on the sales, on the discounts. Do they offer for example, Target offers a 5% discount on every single purchase if you get their Target Red Card. If they have that, that's just an additional savings for your business. So why not get the Target Red Card? It's a 5-minute application process. Granted, you have to have decent credit score. So you wanna take the time to go ahead and sort of understand these little nuances, because every single dollar that you save on those purchases, every single new product that you find from that is just, you're that much closer to scaling and growing and being more profitable in your business. So that's number one. Number two is you're gonna find a lot of lists will have a lot of really good products. And if you got to it when you came home and the list got to your inbox 4 hours earlier, well, if that list is going, for example, our list, if there's 29 other people that are receiving that list, then, and they all liked it, and 20 of them saw it before you, and they went to that website and they purchased it, well, they might have just taken all of the inventory from that website. If you didn't get there fast enough, now you love the product, you want to buy 100 of them, but they're out of stock. Well, you don't just give up on the product. You create your own Excel spreadsheet of products that you want to purchase but were out of stock, and you just copy and paste that line with all the information into your own list. And then every day, every week, whatever your routine is going to be, as you're checking the regular lead list, you go back and you double check those out of stock ones. Are they back in stock now? Some websites will allow you to put your email in there and they will send you a notification when they're back in stock. You absolutely, if you love that item, you want to put your email in there and go ahead and get notified when something is back in stock. Some websites will allow you to only purchase 6 or 7 of them, but you can purchase that on a daily basis. So you want to make a note of it in your own Excel spreadsheet that says, all right, I need to purchase, I want to buy 60 of these. I can only buy 6 a day. So the next 10 days, I'm going to click this and I'll purchase 6 each time. Make sure that you have a plan of action for the ones that you like. Double check them, go back and look at them. They might be, you might look at, if you're a little bit more advanced and you understand Keepa, and you look at Keepa graph and you see, hey, this item on this list looks good right now, but if I look back on the history of it, for 5 months out of the year, between February and September, it sells really well, and it sells at a really good price. And it did that last year, it did that this year, and it did it 2 years ago. So it's a trend. Let me put it on my own list that says, hey, in January, order this and send it in. You want to have these type of, take the time to have these strategies in place, because that's how you really maximize your return on paying for these leads lists. The third one, this one's a no-brainer, but it's amazing how few people, myself included, actually does this. I mean, when I first started going through and finding products, I'm like, oh, great, hey, Target has it. That's amazing. I would never, my wife was the one that actually pointed out, so why don't you just Google it? Maybe, because I would always complain, Target doesn't allow me to get 100 of them, doesn't allow me to get as many as I want. But if you take the title and you Google it, well, maybe Walmart has it, and Walmart doesn't have a limitation on how many you can send in. Maybe another store that you've never heard of has it, and you can get it maybe for a cheaper price. Maybe you can get a lot more of it. Maybe there's additional discounts. Maybe that site has other ways of savings that will lower your cost. All it takes is copy and paste. Just that one little action could save you a lot of money. It could get you to find ones that are out of stock at the source from the list. So you want to go ahead, and if you like it, if you love that product, Google it. just Google the UPC or Google the name of the product. You might find it, you might not, but it's just, if you do, you're that far ahead in your getting the maximum value for those leads list.
I would say also, I mean, you may have already said it, but even if it's out of stock, which was your number two, probably Googling it makes sense also to see if somebody else has a supply of it, and just walking down a little bit with looking on Google. To your example, Target might be out, it might restrict how many you get, but there might be somebody else who's selling it, even if it's a few dollars more or a few pennies more, whatever the criteria is for you. If it still clears your hurdle, you just found another source of that material. And more than likely, whatever it is you're looking for, there, it's competitive. It's not going to be these huge numbers between what Walmart and Target are selling, whatever that widget is. They're going to be fairly tight. They're going to be close enough that finding another source for it is a win through, Googling for it. Or if they're out of stock, now you found somebody who has it, and maybe you found a source that somebody else hasn't taken the time to find too.
Absolutely. And the only caveat to that is you want to be very cognizant of the fact that when you're going from the site that the list says to another site, make sure that you're purchasing it from the site owner. So if you're going to Walmart, make sure you're purchasing it from Walmart, not from a third-party seller at Walmart. Because let's say you're buying a Pokemon thing from Walmart, but it's actually a third-party reseller selling it. It could be a fake thing coming from China. You never know, because just like Amazon, Walmart has its own marketplace and it has third-party resellers. So if you are going to deviate from that, make sure that your source is the right place. Is you're not buying it from a unreliable third-party source. So that was number 3. Number 4 is and we've talked extensively about this in past podcasts, is you always want to make it a habit of having and checking the cashback sites and the coupon sites. Cashback sites like Be Frugal, Rakuten, Retail Me Not, they all have Chrome extensions. Make sure you have those installed on your computer when you're doing your OA sourcing. You always want to make sure that you double check with each of those ones to make sure that if there is cashback, you're not leaving money on the table. If there are discount codes that people have uploaded on there, or that will help you get free shipping, will help you get free whatever, or discounted prices on it, make sure you click those extensions, because it's free money. It adds up. I mean, I know I've talked about it in the past, but that's the money I use as vacation for my family. I personally choose not to include those cashbacks on and reduce my cost. A lot of sellers do include it as part of their business. For me, it's my reward, so I use it as that. But regardless of how you use it, it's free money. If you're going to place that order and purchase that product, all it takes is one other little click, and you are now increasing your profit and you're increasing your returns on it. So definitely don't forget to have those cashback sites and those coupon sites on your browser. And then the 5th and the last one, I know that when we first started talking or doing this podcast, we had a podcast called Stacking for Profits, and we discussed this, but that was a long time ago. So it's good to reintroduce it. There are websites where you can go and purchase gift cards at a discount from other people. So if Leland gets me a gift card for Christmas, I'm not saying you will, Leland, but if you do, and it's a Best Buy gift card, or if I'm doing a return, I get money back as a gift card. I can go ahead and sell that gift card. I'll list it for sale on Gift Card Granny or Raise.com, and other people can go in and purchase these gift cards. You will buy it at 5% discount, 10% discount, sometimes depending on the store, 50% discount. But it's a way to increase your profit. So you want to buy from Target, and you go to Gift Card Granny, and there are a bunch of gift cards that are being sold at 5% discount. All right, well, if you purchase those gift cards from there, you save 5%, you get that gift card, you purchase your product, you've just added 5% to your net margins. It's a great way to stack for your profits, to increase your ROI. Definitely, if you haven't used this method before, if you haven't looked into it and you're just starting and you're smaller and you're limited on how much you want to spend, and it's a great way to just go ahead and get some extra money. Some of them you might not get the gift card right away. Some of them don't do it electronically. Some of them that do it electronically might take 24 hours before they get you the gift card. So you might not be able to purchase the product right away. And that's something that you'll have to determine. Some of them mail you the card. I wouldn't recommend getting those because you don't never know how long that takes. But there are others where you get the code for the gift card right away. So it's a good practice to check to see, hey, Target, are there good gift cards out there for this obscure website or Bed Bath and Beyond or whatever, wherever the source is? Are there gift cards being sold at a discount at one of these websites? And if there is, go ahead and purchase it. That's just an extra 5%, 10%. I mean, I've gotten up to 25% off certain gift cards at certain times. So it definitely behooves you to look into that in order to maximize the return and the value of whatever money you're paying for whatever list you're paying it for. Those are the 5.
We've learned a lot. I'm getting you a Best Buy gift card for Christmas. And then you're going to sell it on Granny.
That's right.
And then I'm going to buy it back at a cheaper amount. And then I'm going to save money. No. Just to recap one other item in this. And so if you're getting any leads list, the work doesn't stop there. This is not the save. Whatever you're getting, make sure you're verifying the numbers all the way through. We're deeply involved with this. I'm involved with it every day, a couple of times during the day. And I see things changing beyond in stock, out of stock. I see the Best Buy, the buy box is going up, it's going down. It's changing rapidly. The sources change quickly. They can be in or out of stock, but it can also be their prices can change if they start to understand something's happening and they got a lot of inventory. So it always behooves the user to be clicking through. The one thing I thought you were going to say in this too is beyond stacking profits or trying to get additional discounts is finding the replenishables in this. I think some folks use the leads list as it's new, it's new, it's new, it's new. And I think you were starting to touch on it in keeping that list, especially if you have winners. And maybe you did touch on a little bit with Keepa, if it's, seasonal or some type of cycle, but even beyond that, sometimes it's just something that you've stumbled into that will return. Maybe it is out of stock in that moment when you clicked on it. Maybe you got 5 and you wanted 50, but it's something each month, each quarter, or each year that you can continually add to your list. So I know you mentioned keeping your own list beyond the ones that you subscribe to, but to me, when I'm using this, it's also looking for the replenishables, which are always a win. It's something else that maybe only a handful or nobody else knows, and it can be a little nook that you carve out for yourself. But I haven't stumbled into one of those. Those are usually worked to get into, and then you have to foster them over and over again.
That's such an excellent point. It's the replenishables are bread and butter stuff. So you want to try to find as many of them as you can, and you want to find them from sources where other people might not have them. That's where Googling something that's on Target, Googling it, and maybe finding an obscure website that sells them and has a lot of them, and you can get it for the same price or around the same price, but you can have access to a lot more of it than anybody that doesn't do that little bit of work and only orders it from Target or only orders it from a website that limits you on how many you're getting. It really has a major impact on your bottom line. So that's a great point, Lee.
Thanks. So yeah, if you haven't used a leads list, look into it. There's lots out there. You can check out proasins.com. Use it to measure the other ones, our competitors out there. If you are using somebody else, check us out. See how we match up against them. And happy hunting.
Yes, happy hunting.